bad. We had an outreach event last week, so we're just showing what's on display, like that vegan food isn't boring, and that was it really. Thank you.
All I want you to do is speak out for the truth. Don't support a racist on a hunger strike. Never charge, never try by the damn board right. I'm never charge, never try by the damn board right. I'm freedom and right. I'm right.
Against humanity, God's earth.
We are here today, symbolically, outside the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom, the highest court in the land, to demand justice and freedom for renowned Palestinian human rights activist, lawyer, Shireen Issawi, who has been caged by the Israeli occupation for over 1,200 days. Shireen Issawi's only crime is to provide a legal defense to Palestinians under illegal Israeli occupation. For this crime, the Israeli occupation has punished her. For the last month, Shireen Issawi has been languishing in solitary confinement in a tiny cell at Israel's notorious Al-Jalami dungeon, infamous for its torture of young Palestinian children. Her family has not been permitted any contact or communication with her, and the last time her lawyer was allowed to see her, she was covered in bruises. The guards had attacked the Palestinian women prisoners, raiding their cells, firing tear gas into the small cells, choking them, savagely clubbing them with batons. Apparently, the prison director himself personally led the attack, tied the women up with their hands behind their backs, and beat them with a baton. Shireen was left bleeding with her entire body covered in bruises. We want to share Shireen's story with you.
Palestinian human rights lawyer Shireen Issawi has been imprisoned by Israel for defending Palestinian political prisoners and supporting their families. Shireen lives in the village of Issawi in occupied East Jerusalem. On the 6th of March 2014, Israeli forces surrounded her home. With helicopters circling above, they attacked, breaking the front door, and terrorized her elderly parents. But she wasn't in, so they tracked her to a nearby checkpoint and abducted her. She was dragged to Israel's infamous torture den at Jerusalem prison, called the Russian Compound. For 2 months, she endured their endless interrogation sessions, forced into torturous stress positions for hours, which has left her with permanent joint and back pain. She was caged in solitary confinement and denied family visits. Her weight dropped to just 39 kilograms. Despite the abuse, she did not break, and in May 2014, they moved her to Hasharon's women's prison near Haifa. On the 3rd of May 2015, the prison guards at Hasharon savagely beat Shireen right across her entire body before taking her into isolation in Ramla for several months. Her tiny cell was completely sealed with plastic, so there was no room for air until she choked and lost consciousness. Then the prison administration removed the plastic from the door. In June 2015, Shireen went on hunger strike to protest the poor conditions. She says, the cell lacked the minimum requirements for life. I was forced to sleep on the floor without even a mattress. The guards confiscated my personal belongings. The cell had no amenities like water, and she was not allowed to buy any food. The Law Society of England and Wales, representing 145,000 solicitors, demanded that Israel immediately release Shireen or conduct her trial in accordance with international human rights standards. The Israeli military court, with its Palestinian conviction rate of 99.7%, ignored this petition, and on the 7th of May 2016, sentenced Shireen to 4 years imprisonment and her brother Medhat to 8 years. Shireen Issawi has always worked for prisoners' rights, and in 2014 she won the Swiss-based Al-Karama Award for Human Rights.
Due to extreme overcrowding at Hasharon prison, some of the women prisoners, including Shireen Issawi, were moved to the dilapidated Damon prison. On the 22nd of June 2017, the Palestinian women prisoners were attacked for protesting the poor conditions at Damon prison, which even the Israeli Prison Service director admitted was unfit for human habitation. The guards fired tear gas into the small sealed cells, choking the women as they stormed in, savagely beating them with batons. The director of Damon prison personally led the attack, tied the women up with their hands behind their backs and beat them with a baton. Shireen was left bleeding with her entire body covered in bruises, as testified by her lawyer, who has only been permitted to see her once in nearly 2 months. Shireen was moved to Israel's notorious Al-Jalami prison and has been kept in solitary confinement ever since. She is not permitted any family visits or any communication. She is not permitted to buy any food. She has not been provided with any change of clothes, and she is not permitted to buy any clothes. She cannot have a shower, as cameras have been strategically placed to ensure that she has no privacy, even in the shower. Shireen Issawi cannot survive in these conditions, and so has threatened to go on yet another hunger strike.
This morning, we received news that the Israeli prison service has finally announced that Shireen Issawi's solitary confinement will end and that she will be moved back to Hasharon prison next week. We have not yet received confirmation of this from her family and Israel, who has a long history of lying to prisoners in order to prevent and end hunger strikes. Shireen Issawi has been put in solitary confinement 5 times so far this year, and each time on a rolling 15-day solitary confinement order with no indication of how long each visit will last.
We are here to demand freedom for Shireen and all Palestinian political prisoners. We are also here to ask members of the legal profession in the UK and around the world to stand in solidarity with a fellow lawyer, Shireen Issawi, who has been targeted, imprisoned and abused for her profession by a regime that has total contempt for the law. Israel is a pariah state and must be treated as such. Free Shireen Issawi!
Free Shireen Issawi!
Free Palestine!
Palestine!
They take your lives, they take your lives, they take your lives.